Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for clicking on 5 News Web News. It is Friday, June 7th. I'm Matt Heckel, and here's your top stories we've been following today here on 5 News. Police have actually just released the name of the man who died in a freak accident in Fairmont yesterday when a flatbed came loose from a truck. We're told 50-year-old Robert Goff was trying to hook up that flatbed to a tractor trailer when it somehow broke free. That's when it hit Goff and killed him. Now, the flatbed then continued to roll into traffic along First Street and hit 2 other cars. Luckily, nobody else was injured. Police still aren't sure how that flatbed broke free, so be sure to stay with us here at 5 News for any further updates on the investigation. Meanwhile, we're working to get the conditions of 2 people that had to be flown to the hospital after crashing into a power pole on Wednesday. That happened around 7:30 along Locust Avenue. Deputies say the driver fishtailed while trying to avoid another car, and that's when they ended up ramming into the pole. We're told the driver and passenger were seriously injured. Well, the search is over for the woman accused of swiping thousands of dollars from a pizza place that doubles as a hotspot in Mon County. That woman has been cuffed and charged. Yesterday morning, officers picked up 39-year-old Frances Thompson from Reevesville. Now, investigators believe she reached her arm inside a drive-through window of Just One More Pizza. That's right outside of Blacksville. She then grabbed the money and took off. She went towards Marion County, and that is where she was arrested. Meanwhile, in Lewis County, charges are dismissed against a man accused of murdering his girlfriend's baby, but that doesn't mean he's off the hook quite yet. Originally, Christopher Shepard was charged with first-degree murder. Prosecutors said even though that charge was dropped, they anticipate filing more charges against him in July when his case is presented to a grand jury. Shepard is still behind bars, though, for drug charges in Harrison County. Well, the death toll is up to 6 after that massive building collapsed in Philadelphia earlier this week. It happened in Philadelphia's Center City on Wednesday. That giant brick wall, which was 4 stories high, came crashing down onto a Salvation Army store. At least a dozen workers and customers who were in the store were injured. Mayor Michael Nutter said they don't know how many people were in the store at the time, but all traffic and trains are stopped so crews can continue searching for anyone who may still be trapped. Well, some mixed news in this morning's jobs report. U.S. employers added 175,000 jobs in May, but the unemployment rate rose slightly to 7.6% from 7.5% in April. The Labor Department says, though, the increase is because more people are now starting to look for work. In the past 3 months, employers have added an average of 155,000 jobs. That's below the average of 237,000 created from November to February. Well, the U.S. government has a top-secret court order requiring Verizon to turn over the telephone records of millions of Americans. That's according to a report by the UK-based Guardian newspaper. According to the report, the order requires the records go to the National Security Agency on a, quote, ongoing daily basis. The order was signed in April and runs through July. Now, the Guardian reports that the order requires sharing the telephone numbers, location, time, and duration of the calls, but it does not require that the content of conversations be turned over. Verizon declined to comment on the report. Some politicians, though, are speaking out against the act, while others are just asking people to calm down. In fact, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid said he believed the program has been in effect for 7 years, and he says it's a program that has worked to prevent a vast majority of terrorism. Senator Dianne Feinstein said this is the 3-month renewal of what has been going on for the past 7 years. Well, WVU is one step closer to getting a new baseball stadium. That's because yesterday, the university's Board of Governors approved the purchase of about 7 acres of land near Morgantown. That patch of land is part of a bigger project that's also supposed to bring a new interchange to Interstate 79, along with improvements to the western end of Mon County. That would be paid for by a tax increment financing project. After the stadium is built, it's also supposed to play home to Fairmont State and a minor league team. Developers said they hope to start construction in December. And let's take a quick look at what our newsroom is working on for tonight. From First at 5 and 5 News at 6. First up, we're going to have the latest on that deadly accident we've been telling you about in our area yesterday as the investigation into just what happened continues. We're also going to have some tips on how you can stay safe while out on the road this summer. And Chief Meteorologist Ken Meehan is going to have your first alert forecast as we head into the weekend. That's all tonight on First at 5 and 5 News at 6. And that is what's making news today. Of course, be sure to tune in tonight. And until then, have a great Friday and a safe weekend.